Hey y'all, welcome back to the Basics. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amy too. I love it. I love saying that. It doesn't get old. It's never going to get old. Today we are talking about cleansing.
Yes.
There's so many rejections or people that have concerns with cleansing.
So where do you start? The first thing, like when people come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to cleanse. I'm like, do you drink water? You know what I mean?
That's a good first step.
Yeah, like what's the point in starting the cleansing process if you're just drinking soda?
Yeah, and I don't go anywhere without my water.
Me neither.
It's like I have to have it.
Yeah, I drink 2 of these a day. They're 40 ounces, so that's 80 ounces of good water. Kangen water.
Yeah, I'm not as fancy with my water, but I do. That's pretty much all I drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
I very rarely drink anything other than water.
We're going to have some of those.
When I go to Cracker Barrel, I do get me a peach tea every once in a while.
A little big splurge.
Yes.
All right, so it starts with water.
Yes. Yeah, if you're not drinking water.
Seems so simple.
I know. And then the next thing, I'm like, how much processed food you got in your house?
Yeah, so when people ask me about it, I'm like, well, I'm taking some herbal supplements Amy has created, but I have to give up 5 things, and it's really not that difficult.
It's not if you want to get to feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to reverse the curse, you got to take the steps.
Yeah, I think everybody has their own reasons for wanting to cleanse.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm not doing it to lose weight. It was just kind of an added bonus.
Right.
But I did want to lose weight, but I was diagnosed with psoriasis as a young child. So I'm hoping that it clears that up. And I just want to feel better.
Yeah.
Period.
That's where I was. I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like waking up every morning and just being like, oh my gosh. And then getting out of bed and all the pain that came with getting out of bed.
Yes.
And just like feeling so fatigued and tired all the time. I was 34 when I started my journey. And I was just like, there's no way I'm ever going to make it to 80 years old feeling like this. Like I was ready to tap out then.
Right. At 34.
Yeah, at 34.
Yeah, we're way too young to be feeling anything but amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so do we want to talk about the 5 things that you have to give up?
Sure.
Okay. Number 1, and every time I say it, people have a little bit of a meltdown.
Yes.
But we want you to know, we realize you still have to live.
Yes.
And give yourself grace, like you told me. Because
Yeah.
I was like, sugar. And we made a joke on the intro.
Yeah.
But the first thing I like to say is sugar. And people are like, oh my God, what? Like, I can't survive without sugar.
Yeah, but you can, because there's natural sugars that don't affect your body as harshly as the synthetic sugar. Like if you get a sweet tooth, make a smoothie. Use honey.
Yes, honey.
Use berries are so great because they still have a little sweetness in them, but they're a low glycemic index. So you're not spiking your blood sugar every time you eat one.
I love ice cream.
Me too.
And I was like, I have to give up ice cream for however long this cleanse is. I'm on my 3rd month. I plan on going to at least 6 months or however long it takes me. But there's natural ice creams that you can indulge in once in a while. We're not saying you
the
can't.
Halo are very low carb, they work. And when you need that little fix of that creamy goodness on your tongue, go for it. I love the Turkey Hill Simply Natural because there's only 4 ingredients.
Yeah.
So good. But I also have to be very careful with dairy because we do say, limit your dairy when you're cleansing because for a lot of people it does cause digestive upset. It causes swelling, inflammation in the body.
Limit dairy. We're not saying you have to get rid of it.
Right. Or do goat milk because goat milk doesn't have the enzymes in it that cause all the swelling and fatigue in the gut.
Yeah. It would be like cheeses and stuff too. If I told my mom she couldn't have cheese,
I've had some people who refuse to cleanse because I ain't giving up my cheese.
Technically, dairy is not one of the 5 things you write about.
It's not.
We're talking about limited.
Yeah.
So let's not scare everybody.
Yeah. You don't have to give up
because they're probably
the
scared
cheese.
over the sugar. And we don't want to give
They're like,
So, next item, what did you say the second biggest one is that people are like, oh gosh?
pork and shellfish.
Yeah. So shellfish wasn't one for me that I really cared about because I don't eat it anyway.
Yeah. I'm allergic, always have been, so no skin off my bone.
Yeah, but pork. You get a lot of questions around pork.
Yes,
and they're like,
I
why?
do.
What's the background? Where? And they want to know. So let's tell them.
So for me, of course, I'm a Bible girl, so when the whole COVID thing went down and I went back and started reading the Bible from the beginning to the end, I'm like, wait a second. And I always want to know the scientific aspect of like why God told us not to do stuff. So I just started on a little journey of like, well, tell me about pork. You know, I'm like asking Google, I don't even remember what I asked, but about the biological processes of pork. And when, first of all, they're bottom feeders. That's what was the first thing that I learned. Pork, shellfish, they're all bottom feeders. No wonder God told us not to eat them. Because if they're eating the scum of the earth, then we're going to be consuming the scum of the earth.
Right.
And how can your body heal when you're doing that? And then I also learned, like with pigs, it doesn't matter what they eat. Within 4 hours, it's already into the meat.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So like with a cow, they have rumens. They chew the cud. So that means by the time that if they even did eat something bad, but also all the stuff that God told us we could eat as far as land animals, they're all vegetarian. Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. So by the time that the nutrients actually gets to the meat, it's the good nutrients.
Right.
So when you're eating a cow, you're eating the goodness. Unless they're raised on grain, then that's obviously not good. But
we're talking about grass-fed.
Yeah,
beef.
we're talking about grass-fed organic beef. But yeah, so just learning those aspects of like, oh my gosh, he wasn't being like, oh, don't eat bacon because he hates us. It was a genuine, it was a genuine like, oh, you might not want to consume that because it will cause disease in your body.
Some people miss their bacon. There's beef bacon.
Yes.
There's turkey bacon.
I woke up every morning for years and ate bacon. I lived a low-carb diet because of my PCOS. But when I gave up pork, that is when I noticed a huge shift in my cleansing journey.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you mentioned 2 of them. So the first one was sugar, shellfish, and pork. So that's 3 of them. I would say the other biggest pushback I heard when I say processed food, people are just like, how can I live on this planet and not eat processed food? Because everything is so processed. We even talk about like the turkey bacon, that's processed. Yeah. And I usually eat the sauerkraut, like pork and sauerkraut on New Year's Day or Eve, but I got a turkey tenderloin and I wanted a hot dog. And you're like, just get a beef hot dog. But like, what's more processed than a hot dog?
Or they make organic, uncured beef hot dogs.
That is what I got, actually.
Yes, good girl.
Thank you. But processed food.
Yes, it is hard because they're like, wait, my whole pantry is filled. Yeah. I'm like, well, you can either donate it or you can eat it and then start your process. But just replace what you're getting rid of with a healthier option.
Yeah, I kind of went through my cupboards and did a little bit of both. Like, got rid of stuff that was clearly I shouldn't have been eating probably in the first place. And then I kept some stuff. I still like tortilla chips. That's technically processed. I just get the ones with the least ingredients.
I get the organic blue corn.
Yeah.
Bring it, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can still live and still eat certain things. You're human.
Yeah.
But we're just saying, like, you're trying to cleanse and make yourself better for a purpose and a reason.
Yeah, limit the things that you're putting in. I tell everybody, too, like, do not all at once just be like, that's it, I'm throwing it all out and getting rid of everything, because it never sticks. If it's a slow and steady walk. Trust me, there are days I'll go out to a restaurant and I'll get chicken fingers and fries. I will feel the repercussion of that, but I'm not going to be a complete snoot. Right. You know what I mean? And not live a little. And there will be times I'll eat candy, but if I do eat candy, it's going to be the organic, non-GMO, dye-free candy. You won't catch me eating a Skittle.
Catch me.
No,
catch me outside eating a Skittle.
How about that?
All right, so what's the 5th thing?
I would say body care products.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yes.
But that's not one of your top 5, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, rewind that.
Burp, burp. Yeah, the body care is they're like, what do you mean, my deodorant? I'm like, yeah, get rid of the aluminum deodorant. You wonder why you got breast cancer or you got all these issues going on in your body.
That's like...
It's the toxins, the fluoride toothpaste. Fluoride is a neurotoxin. It's literally the byproduct of chemical waste.
There she goes.
And they have nowhere to put it. Knife hand coming out. And so they put it in our toothpaste and sell it as an anti-cavity. And just do your research, do your due diligence. You will find that it's rubbish, it's toxic, and it's bad for us.
I really like the word rubbish.
I know.
I didn't really start looking into products until I started cleansing. And I got that app.
Yucca app.
App.
Yeah.
I just started scanning everything in my house, and the things I even thought were good, that like proclaim or say they're good, were not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I know people have a problem with yucca because sometimes, I mean, they consider fluoride okay. It's not. But, I mean, it makes you aware, and it gets you to start looking like, oh my gosh, what are all, like, if you cannot pronounce the ingredients on the back of a bottle, you don't need it.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't need it.
Yeah, aware, a good word was aware. Just be aware of the products you're using on your skin and your face and your armpits and
your
all of
laundry. People don't realize your laundry soap. Like, that's where your skin cancers are coming from, because it's got all of these harsh chemicals, and your skin's your largest organ. That's why they sell us synthetic clothing, nylon, polyester, rayon. All of this stuff causes cancer. Especially skin cancer.
So wake up, people.
Yeah, wear your linen, wear your cotton. Let's go. But the hardest one of all is alcohol. I like how that rhymed. Hardest of all is alcohol.
She's a poet and don't know it.
I am. That was, I went through many stints in my life because of my, all the trauma I've been through, where I loved alcohol. But nothing will make your body grow cancer faster or disease faster than alcohol, because it just constantly keeps your body in an acidic state, and it just breeds and grows disease.
Yeah. And I started this journey in December, so I had all the holiday parties, and then the New Year's, and then my bestie's birthday, and like all the things.
Yeah.
But again, I was human, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have my Tito's and club soda. Like, I'm going to have one.
Yes.
So I'm still living, I'm still balanced.
Right.
But I can't even remember the last time I drank, actually.
Yeah. It might have been when we went to dinner with Ange.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When you're cleansing, you don't have to be a complete prude and like not have alcohol if you really want to, but limit it to like one drink a week while you're cleansing, because you have to remember you're spending all of this time putting your body into an alkaline state by eating right, putting the herbs in. The last thing you want to do is drink some alcohol that's going to send you back into an acidic state, and then it's hard on your liver. It's just no bueno.
Not good. Talking to a girl that takes one drink, and she's like, oh my gosh.
I do. I process alcohol really quickly. I have a half a drink, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then I'm like, ready for bed.
Yeah. Then she's like, all right, it's 8 o'clock. It's time for bed.
We've discovered the new neurotropic herbal drinks. Those things are amazing. For me.
Lightweight over here.
Yeah. She's like, I've had 3 and I don't feel nothing. Meanwhile, I'm halfway into one and I'm like, woo!
One of the questions I wanted to ask was, so we're still human, we're still living, it's a balanced life, we're cleansing, we want to do better, get better. And then we have processed food, or we drink alcohol, or whatever. Like, does it set you back? Is it like a restart? Do people have to stress about it? But I say no stress, because that's just as bad as other things.
Stress is not the best. No, you have your cheat day, do your thing, but just keep continuing the cleansing process. Now, the more crap you eat, obviously it is going to set you back. You still stay on your cleansing routine, taking your capsules and stuff. But at the end of the day, you want to limit all of that junk so that it doesn't take you longer to heal.
Yeah. You're really rhyming too. Stress isn't the best. She's really going good here. Some people have questions about like the signs of cleansing. How do you know it's working? I know with me, I sleep better. I'm feeling better. I've dropped weight. I said I'm in this like annoyingly happiness place.
Yeah.
Like people are like, calm down. Like you're so happy. But I have broken out with pimples.
Yep.
All around my hairline specifically.
Yeah.
And that's been going on since the heavy metal detox.
Yes.
So, what else can people expect, or how do they know when to move on?
So a lot of people, if you do our protocol when you start with the open pathways, a lot of people actually feel pretty good on that one, because for the first time in years, your body's like ebbing and flowing and your organs are opened up and your lymphatics moving. And a lot of reasons that people don't feel well is because their lymphatics so stagnant. So step one, when you're opening those pathways, you're going to feel by the end of it, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to have more energy. You may have lost a few pounds. Your digestion system is moving. You just overall feel a little happier. So that's how you know, like, oh, okay, this one's, I'm good. If you're not feeling that by the end of your first Open Pathways kit, odds are you need a second one. Very rarely have I ever seen anyone need a third Open Pathways kit. And if they do have one, they're on a bunch of medications and they've been sick for a very long time.
I just thought of this when you were talking, like the acne I talked about.
Yeah.
I did have headaches a few days. I did feel sluggish a few days.
Yeah.
I felt almost like sickness or coming down with some sort of sickness a couple days.
Yeah, that's the heavy metal is the hardest part, I say, of the cleansing process, because that's where, like, these herbs go in and they're removing the heavy metals from the blood-brain barrier. So when it's pulling off, you can feel it. You get headaches. You feel a little, ugh. That's why I say start that one on, like, you know you're going to have some days off. That way you can see how your body adjusts. And a lot of skin outbreaks happen during the heavy metal cleanse because, once again, our skin's our largest organ. So think of all the products we've put on our skin, all of the stuff that's come from our clothing. It causes pimples. Because it's pushing itself out.
Feel like a teenager a little bit.
Yeah.
In happiness, mood, energy, and pimples.
Yeah. Rude.
Any precautions, like why someone should not do a cleanse? I know pregnancy, someone was asking on your chat.
Never cleanse on when you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Because when you're pregnant, your body knows that this child is a foreign substance. So any toxins that you want to get rid of, it's going to go straight to the baby because it knows in time that it's going to be pushed out of the body. So that's why it's essential that when you're pregnant, you're eating good whole foods, because your baby will otherwise be getting, that's why children are born with cancer, tumors, sickness, you know, all sorts of genetic disease because of what we're feeding them in utero. And same thing with breastfeeding. If you're breastfeeding, all of your toxins are going through your milk supply. If they're in there and you're feeding your child, well, then your child's getting all of those toxins that are leaving your body, and it's going to cause severe sickness in them.
Okay, well, I'm glad I brought that up.
Yes!
Because some people don't even think to ask. Any other, like, I mean, we don't have to deep dive into that, but like medications or like, can they continue their medications while doing a cleanse?
Yeah, there are not many medications at all. I don't think there are really any that interfere with any of our kits. We just ask that you take them 2 hours apart, and that's with any herbal supplement that you take, even vitamins. You're supposed to take them 2 hours apart from your pharmaceuticals.
And when in doubt, just ask.
Yeah, when in doubt, just send us an email. You can ask. So for perspective, when I started my cleansing journey, the first 3 months for me were very rough. It was very like, because I didn't know about the whole opening the pathways yet. I was like something that I was learning in the process, and I had like severe heavy metals coming out of my body. So like my first 3 months were like, it was everything that I could do to get through it. But when I hit 3 months, I just woke up one morning and I was like, wow, I don't really hurt getting out of bed today. And I had a clarity that I had not noticed before in years, probably since I was a child. So that gave me the gusto to go 3 more months. I'm like, okay, I go 3 more months. By 6 months, I was done with the cane. Didn't need it.
On the heavy metals, or which part of the cleansing process?
That was towards the end of heavy metal. I did heavy metal for like 3 months. But even through that, I was still passing parasites. Like I started passing parasites from the get-go.
Without taking the like parasite cleanse.
Without taking. But a lot of the herbs that I was taking were killing parasites too. And I think that's why my first 3 months were so rough, because my pathways weren't open. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Then when I got to 6 months, I was just like, holy crap, I'm going to go another.
Literally.
Holy crap. I get yelled at all the time by the Christians for saying holy crap. Like, shut up, Carol. And then I was like, I'm going to go 3 more months. And I made it to 9 months. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm still passing parasites. And then at 11 months, I didn't see any more in my stool. And I felt out of this world. I had dropped 30 pounds. I was alive. I was vibrant. And and that's when I launched this company.
At the end of your journey and your cleanse.
Yeah. That's how I had figured it all out. I'm like, because I knew that parasites were like the root cause of like almost all disease. And I'm like, okay, we'll just launch a parasite kit. But then it was just like, oh wait, yeah, I got to go back. I got to do this a different way.
Right. It was a learning curve.
Yeah, it was a learning curve. Yeah.
And now we all get to benefit from it.
Yes. Ain't God good.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that part.
I got to be the guinea pig.
Well, we appreciate it.
You're no problem.
Well, I think that wraps up.
Yeah, I think that handles
process.
all the questions that we typically get. If there are more, post them below and we will get to them on the next podcast, y'all.
Absolutely.
As always, thanks for joining.
Thank you. See you next time.
Bye.